morning.
Good morning. What did the win like that when you watched the film the next day? Did it look as good as the score was, or were there some things that you have to clean up as
Uh,
an offense?
it was pretty good, but it was some things definitely we can work on. Couple missed assignments and a couple operation uh, things we could get fixed. Tempo was pretty good. The execution was pretty good, but overall, I feel like we could have did a lot of things more better.
It looks like on a lot of those big catches that the downfield blocking
Hmm.
is been a key on that. Sometimes a
Yep.
receiver can just do it on his own and yards after catch. But has that been an important part of people getting downfield and blocking and busting open those big plays?
Well, in practice, we have a flag that's in the middle of the field, and we try to emphasize on playing to the flag is raised. And so when the play break down and Greg scrambles, we try to get body on body. That's the phrase we use. And so when Greg scrambles and the play break down, every receiver has to get a body on his body, every lineman, every running back, because you never know how the play could end. And the same thing a receiver. Chance Allen and Stephen Dunbar is doing a heck of a job in helping me with the bubbles and on sweep plays and things like that. And the same thing with Kenneth Farrell. We're really doing a good job of blocking on the perimeter, and O-line is doing a heck of a job right now.
Trying to visualize it. Is it someone holding up a flag, or is it planted in the?
It's a flag held up
So
in the middle of the
this is where
field.
this is the start point.
Yep.
I mean
Stop point. Yep.
Okay. They were saying the other night that on those sweeps and stuff, it's a little different. But you used to do some of that in high school. They actually called your high school coach how they used you in those roles. But was that part of the game, the sweeps? Was that the pitches? Was that a little bit different for you to learn, or was that something you had already kind of picked up in high school?
Yeah, it was something I picked up in high school. I think I've been probably doing that play since my sophomore year in high school, if not freshman year. But you just kind of got to understand your blocking and understand the play and how it's designed to run. And it's a read and react play. Those guys did a really good job on the perimeter of opening up the hole for me. I seen it and I hit it. And it was a play that was well executed. Big ups to the O-line and the receivers for making it happen for me.
You guys look around this place and you're reminded all the time of who's been here, the players and the offenses that you guys. But would it surprise you that they found out that the points that y'all scored in the first three games are the most since Andre Ware and the run and shoot back in '89? As an offense, you've been here a couple of years now. You saw maybe where the offense was and now it is. Is it kind of bringing back a little bit of that
Oh
fast
yes,
tempo?
it's a lot of swagger to it. You got three offensive coordinators on one offense. If you want to include Drew Maringer, Applewhite, and Coach Tom Herman, so all those guys are really really good football guys. They are really good at what they do, and they know how to create a great game plan. And it's up to the players to go out and execute at practice. And when it's game time, the game plan becomes easy because you rep those plays a lot of times in practice.
And no knock on the previous, but had that swagger, had it been lost a little bit from you guys? Just maybe the way that the offense was middling and it just wasn't what people maybe associate with Houston.
Well, yeah, because it's the expectation. We know what Coach Herman expects, and he's not going to take anything less. And for him to coach his best players as hard as he does, we're pressured in practice way more than we are in the game. So when you go out and practice as hard as we do, the result shows on Saturday. It's almost like having a job and you go do a tremendous job on your job and you get a big bonus for it. So it's really feel good to go out on Saturday and really do the things that you did well in practice and get the results from them.
You line up in practice against Williams a lot?
Sometimes.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
I don't know if you heard what Coach said. He read that play
Yeah.
from the beginning to the end.
Yeah.
Nobody throws that direction most of the time.
Well, the William practices butt off every day. Even when he guards me, he give those guys a hard time in practice. He's jumping routes. He's climbing over guys, batting down the ball. He practiced like he plays, and that play was a no-brainer. I seen it happening before it happened. We back getting ready for punt return. I knew once he broke on that ball, we wasn't going out there. So, it was a great play by him, but it's nothing we haven't already seen.
And at some point, you're gonna have to go to Landon or Steve and say, "Hey, get free dinner out of this or something."
Yeah.
You know, they're getting all the tackles, but is that kind of different for you, or is that none of that stuff really matter?
I mean, it's different, but at the end of the day, it doesn't matter because I mean, we get the win, and that's the biggest focus for us. I don't care about stats. I don't care about the plays I make. I just care about the win. So.
BJ, was that a tough sell when Coach Orlando and the defensive staff approached you about this, or did it really matter to you?
It didn't matter. I mean, I talked to the coaches, I talked to my other players, and try to see what they thought about me moving, and it was just the best move for the defense. That I just took in into consideration that you can't be that selfish player. You got to do it for your defense. So I did it proudly. It wasn't even a big adjustment. I didn't think twice. I just did it.
When they first talked to you about making that move, what was the conversation like? What was that discussion?
Coach tried me out at practice one day, and he liked what he saw. And he said, "Would you mind playing nose for me?" And I was like, "No, I don't mind, Coach." And he just, as camp went on, he put me in, and I got better at it. I learned the plays. It's a little different. It's, you got different assignments than in. So as we got up to the season, I became good at it, and that's why I stayed, and I don't mind.
So it wasn't even spring; it was in.
It was in camp. It was in fall camp.
That gives you 3 or 4 weeks to.
Yeah, 3 or 4 weeks. I'll play some, but I haven't really. My main position was in, but moving. I mean, it wasn't like I said earlier. It wasn't a big adjustment. It was just an adjustment to help us out.
I realize you guys probably don't wake up on Sunday mornings, look at the stats, and see where you guys rank for rush defense. I think you guys are 3rd or 4th in the nation, giving up I think it's 50-something yards. Since you don't necessarily get those personal stats, is that a stat you look at and say,
I mean, it's a nice stat, but I don't really look at what my stats are like. I just focus on what we got defensive line wise. Like we got a certain blocking scheme that we have to pick up on, and I don't really worry about the stats. I just try to do my job and get my other defensive ends to do their jobs.
Right, but it shows that the line as a whole, what you guys are doing.
Yes, sir.
I mean, that shows that it's working.
Oh yeah, it's definitely working. It's definitely working.
Along those lines, in terms of it's working, I know new coaching staff and culture really pushed you guys through 3 games to see the success that you guys have been able to have. How much does that continue to help everybody in the locker room know it's working?
It just makes everyone believe in the culture. Like you got this new coaching staff that comes in, and it's a completely different, culture, and it's hard for some players to adjust. And everybody's getting on board. They follow the plan because it's obviously working, and we just got to get everyone to keep coming, to keep believing, and I think everything will be good.
You guys have seemed to have found your mojo with the turnovers the last 2
Yeah.
games of 8. I mean, it's no secret that this defense feeds off of that. How big has that been to get those the last 2 weeks to help you?
Turnovers are huge. Anytime we can get our offense the ball, we will. We need them to score. We need them to put up points, and we take pride in turnovers. We take pride in playing great defense, so that's really big.
With Tulsa spreading the field like they do, Coach just talked about how it's going to be real important for you guys up front to try and generate a little bit of press because it's going to be real tough to bring extra guys. Just talk about the mentality and mindset and how you guys are going to have to go out and attack.
With that, it's like max protection. It's like 7 people, and only way you can beat max protection if you bring one more player. But, I mean, if we don't, we just do our best to get to the quarterback. Even if it's a 3-man rush or a 4-man rush, we just can't depend on, Coach Orlando bringing blitzes every play. We got to do it ourselves. We got to beat one-on-one blocks when we get a chance. So that's what we got to do.
How creative, though, is he? I think y'all have I think it's a cowboy package.
Yeah.
Where there's only one down.
Yeah, Cameron Melville.
Is that just the things that he does, the angles that he brings the pressure? Has it been a big difference and difficult to learn, that system?
Well, I wouldn't say difficult for us to learn. I think it would be difficult for offensive teams to pick up, like just to know who's coming. You got extra linebackers in, we got 1D lineman in, and it's complicated for like the O-line to read the protections. So I mean that's big.
Usually there's stuff where you can see on the other side. Have you all lined up like that before and had some, the way it's mapped out for you, and then offense is looking at you guys like, man.
It's hard for them to call their front. So I mean, whenever we stem and move, they got to change their protection, and it messes them up. They can't change in the middle of a play. So, like, that's big.
What have you seen from Tyus? You know, Tyus seems to have gotten off to a really good start.
Man,
short-circuiting a couple of times.
Tyus Bowles is an incredible athlete, just big, strong, fast, and just gets the job done, doesn't complain, just goes out there, knows his assignment, and just he does it every day. Every day at practice. Like Saturdays is like just, you know, that's second nature because we do it so much at practice.